Here in the new hospital, it's indeed a bit different than in the previous one. Too bad that Johannes is no longer present. We were able to converse well, and he somehow also turned into my personal reader. Now I'm hopeful that I'll soon have my eyes at my own disposal again. Right away on the next morning, I'm being examined. My arm is already doing much better. It's healing well. But the eyes, well, what should I say? When the bandages are taken off, I'm able to recognize more than the mere outlines with the right eye. Apparently the injury is not as severe, and the swellings, which are impeding the optical nerve, are slowly but steadily going down. But with the left eye, there's still nothing that can be achieved. The physician does not explain much, but he thinks that I'm on the right path, and at least on the right side I could regain almost my full eyesight again. I'm also told that it was soon time for surgery on the left eye, since a few things needed to be done there. Difficult, but feasible. It could take time, but there was a slim chance that it could work out. This I actually did not want to hear. I'm a tank gunner, I explain, and, of course, I need my eyes for that. With one eye, that was likely not possible. A long silence from the doctor. Then he says he didn't want to give me false hope. A job inside a tank would probably be possible again, but not at the target optic. That required 100% vision on both eyes. This hits me hard. I take some time to understand what he's telling me there. Of course, they won't deploy me as a gunner with one eye. The risk would be much too high. Loader would still be possible, but that too won't be so easy. The doctor also tells me that he has had many eye patients who later transitioned to the training of young soldiers and thus passed on their long-time combat experience. That was also an important contribution to win the war. Yes, that does sound good, but my place is inside a tank turret. The days go by, and soon, with the left eye open, I'm able to stroll through the hospital and through the small garden alone. Reading is still difficult, but I try to write down the past 3 weeks, even if it's not easy for me. Time. I do have more than enough of that. A larger eye surgery is still supposed to come. Then I'd be able to go home for a few days. I'm very excited, having been within the territory of the Reich for 4 weeks already and have not yet been home. Then I'm operated on, which seems to go fast. Apparently just a few small slivers were supposed to be removed, to make the swellings go down, and one would then wait and see. 3 days later, I'm then permitted to go home on convalescent leave. A corporal is accompanying me to the train, and a short time later, the journey continues to Hamburg. I'm due to arrive in the evening. My family has already been notified about my arrival. My arm is almost recovered already. I just can't put any weight on it yet. The head robe is not as bulky anymore, and with the right eye I'm already at 80% eyesight. That's already a good success. The train ride lasts the entire day. Not before evening, I'm finally in Hamburg. I'm in happy expectation over who might pick me up at the train station, and I can hardly wait to step off the train. They're waiting for me. The train station is full of people, but I can recognize my Gudrun right away. Fashionably dressed, she's waiting for me, together with my mother. I can't just rush off, since I do have to hold myself back a bit with one eye, and I don't want that my left arm might uncontrollably hit something, or I get bumped into. Then, finally, I'm able to hold the love of my life in my arms. She's already grown a round belly, has become a bit fuller in the face, but is still my beautiful wife. I press her slowly but carefully against myself. Then I embrace my mother, who, like Gudrun, is also crying with joy. Around me are several soldiers, who are also on home leave, and have also fallen into the arms of their loved ones. Time appears to be standing still for all of us, for just a moment. It's all full of tears. Even I have a tear running from my more or less healthy eye. Gudrun does not ask me about my injury. All are glad that I'm still alive and finally able to be home again. My uniform has also arrived in the meantime. My crew sent my belongings home. And my family has given it all a spit shine so I can show everyone what a great guy I am. Am I really that? Doubts rise up inside me. Wounded, but with decorations on the chest. Is that the homeland's view on its soldiers? The horrors of war we should not take home with us. We have to lock those up deep inside us. Because nobody wants to hear this. Nobody is supposed to hear this. We get on our way back home. And I'm happy after this entire commotion to then be sitting in the living room of the in-laws and to have some coffee and baked goods. Gudrun tells me a lot about our impending offspring. Whether boy or girl does not matter to me. Most important, it's healthy. Meanwhile, my father is also there. My mother-in-law is catering to us in outstanding fashion. My father-in-law is still at this company. He's supposed to join later. We talk a lot, but at some point I'm dead tired, and I'm able to retire with Gudrun. After so many months, it's always as if one had to get to know each other again. Gudrun, however, is at once very caring to me, and it's quickly again as if I'd never been gone. I'm also taken in an extensive bath. Then I'm able to lie down on the soft sheets. A joy. As Gudrun then enters the bedroom in her nightgown, I would have liked to use both eyes. Regardless, I want to take off the bandages. To Gudrun, I'm showing my face without bandages. Sure, there are a few scars on the forehead and one on the bridge of the nose. But she laughs at me and states that now I had a fencing scar as well, which was also fashionable. Yes, that's my Gudrun. Always good for a funny remark. The night is wonderful, and I quickly notice how much I missed this twosomeness. The next morning I'm also able to talk to my father-in-law. He tells about his company, and that he has now investing his profits in land. Land was always stable in value, he states. It was a good retirement provision. He's probably right there. Then he asked me about my injury. He himself had been severely wounded in the First World War, and says that it was a psychological burden to continue living with that. But after all these years, it wasn't quite as bad anymore. Well, one likes to hear this, but I declare that I'm strongly determined to see with both eyes again. The left eye was still there after all. It just needed to be operated, so I'd be able to take aim at Ivan again. My sister also stops for a visit. She also tells me that she had a good friend with whom she undertook many things. Just a friend, not a new partner. I respond that she didn't need to justify herself to me. Life was too short to remain alone forever. The days fly by. I meet up with a few acquaintances, and only a few inquire about my eye. Since my face has also suffered injuries, but that part was underneath the bandages. There were also no stupid questions. Serious subject then does come up. The baby's name. Gudrun tells me that I'd have a say in it if I was in the house on the day it was born. She wanted to have the child in a parental home, if the doctors would approve it. So, there goes any hope that I get to have a say in this decision. 2 names she'd already picked. For a girl, Mareike. For a boy, Paul. That's alright with me. Rudolf also would have been nice for a boy, but we could also give it a double name, is my idea. We'll wait how it'll be. Sometime in December is supposed to be the date. I'm not sure where I'll be then, but I hope that I'll somehow still be in Hamburg. The days fly by, and I'm enjoying the time at home. Fall is coming in big steps. It's slowly getting colder. Shortly before my departure back to Munich again, Gudrun asks about my experiences at the front and about my injury. I tell what happened, that I missed out on a promotion, a decoration, and possibly the loss of my left eye by my own stupidity. Now, with some distance to this, a few things become clear to me as well. Everything that happens is fate, and we are unable to do anything about it. Whether I'd belong to a tank crew again when my eye had healed, she asks. That I couldn't answer. It will still take time, but someday I'd fight again, whether inside a tank or by other means. But also that I could go into training to a tank academy somewhere in the Reich, or also nearby. That would be possible. I just had to wait what the surgery would bring. Now I have to go back to the train station and back to Munich. My father and Gudrun are taking me to the station. Actually, I don't want to go away, but with the hope to be able to see again fully, I get on the train. My beret does not fit quite right on top of my bandages, but despite this, I manage to put it somehow on my head. I promise Gudrun to come back soon, and get on my way. The train travels deep into the night, since again and again we have to stop due to air raid alerts. We as soldiers are also getting checked by military police on the train 2 or 3 times. My papers are in order, and just before Munich I have to conductor confirm for me that I hadn't caused these delays. The fault for me not arriving in Munich on time was completely to be attributed to the Americans or the British. At 4 a.m. in the morning, I then report to the non-commissioned officer on duty. He checks my papers and lets me in. I'm assigned a different room. Here, there are only 6 men inside. I now try to still get a little sleep. With all the memories of my family, most of all Gudrun, I finally lay down.